On July 29th, 2024, our annual procedural meeting and business meeting. So let's go ahead and call to order. We'll do a roll call first. Robert. Merle. Here. Kelsey. Here's here, we do have a quorum. So we can make out there's some conditions. Well, Kelsey did tell me she was gonna be a little late. She had a commitment, so it sounds like she will make it, but it might be a little, so. If you guys would join me in the flag salute, pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There it is.
Oh, Tim's getting ready to go. Thank you. So important. Alrighty, agenda consideration. If everybody's had a chance to look over what we are planning to do tonight, I would entertain a motion to move forward with the agenda presented.
I'll make a motion that we accept the agenda as presented.
Second. Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Our agenda is as was presented. First up is public comments. Opportunity for the public to come and provide feedback to the board. Going once. Going twice. We will move on. Item number 2, board communication. Call out for OSBA Summer Board Conference, August 9th to the 11th, 2024. That is coming up here quickly. Sounds like we've had a couple folks attending. So those of you attending, please be ready to share your insights at the next meeting. The other thing is the OSBA fall annual meeting, which is November 9th through the 11th. Yeah, 9th through the 11th. That one is in Portland. Welcoming Robert in, so we can know that he's from. That one. Diane, when is registration? When do you need registration on that? Okay, the ways to go on that.
The November one, they haven't opened it, they usually open in September.
Go ahead, Mel.
Not that consequential because it's early, but the date is actually 7 through 9 on November.
Oh, okay.
Oh, thank you. Sorry,
Is it pre-conference stuff? There might be some pre-conference stuff.
I think I was looking at last year.
Oh, okay.
There is.
Thank you for that, that clarification. I don't have anything more for our agenda is pretty abbreviated tonight, other than just welcome everybody for coming out on a very plus summer evening. It's about 95 degrees out there. Next up is the consent agenda. If everybody's had a chance to look over that, then take a motion.
I'll move that we accept the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? That motion carries. Next up is board action and our annual procedural business. Do you have a script? There isn't really anything that I need for a script.
No, it's basic nominations and
Okay.
it requires the first and the second.
Okay.
And then, yeah.
So we have, this is a rework meeting, so we need to elect a chair for the coming school year. So I would entertain motions or nominations for the position of chair.
I make a motion, we elect Crystal Russell to chair.
Second.
Any other nominations? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor of Crystal Russell as chair for the coming year, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? With that. Move on. Yes, you do.
I thought you were gonna finish to the end. Okay. To continue with our annual procedural business, we need to elect a vice chair. So I'll open up the floor for nominations.
I'll nominate Heidi. Vice chair.
I'll second.
Okay. Can I nominate myself?
And
Can I nominate myself?
Oh, okay.
So how do we? Any other nominations? Let me catch.
You probably should do a roll call. On your first note. And see if you need to move to the second one. Is that?
I vote on both. You need to vote on both. It's still be even split and then you vote again.
So, but if you have a majority. What happens at the end of the majority of both? That's a possibility that you should entertain, right?
Well, if you look in your folder, then it tells you. The one that has the little hand, the little red unit of bullets. So, yeah.
Okay, so conversation between Glenn and I is procedurally, we can request if both of them would like to be nominated. So I will go with that and then we'll take a roll call vote. So Heidi,
I'll accept nomination.
okay, Jenny, okay. We'll do roll call vote. Sure. Thank you. Thanks. Robert? Vote.
Jenny.
Meryl?
No, wait, we're voting on
Say
the first nominee first.
Oh, sorry.
So what's your vote for Heidi?
So just maybe a nay.
Meryl?
Yay.
Jenny,
Nay.
Heidi,
Yay.
Glenn,
Yay.
chair votes nay. Then, we're gonna vote on Jenny, Robert,
Yay.
Meryl,
Nay.
Jenny, Heidi,
Nay.
Glenn,
Nay.
chair votes yay. So then what do we do?
Kelsey coming later?
Yeah, that is 4 to 6. Okay, so Heidi's nominations were split.
Mhm.
Uh. Director Scott, she had 2 yes and 4 no's.
No,
No, have that
three.
So
I'm keeping with it.
6 of us here.
Mhm.
Ask questions about?
Mhm. Yeah.
Can can I ask questions?
Yeah, I'll open it. Go.
I'd say that because it was, I mean, in either case, you had a motion and a second. I think the board can go into, discussion of either of those motions.
Discussions, yeah.
So,
So can I-
so you had a motion, so I think there's open for discussion on both both nominations because they were
Okay.
motioned and second.
Okay, so I guess the reason that I would vote is just, I was thinking that Jenny has longer term. You might be out in a year, if I had that wrong, or I could have it wrong. I'm new, so I don't know.
No,
Well, it's only for a year.
Oh,
Only serving for a year.
okay.
I'll for Kelsey.
You're all looking at me.
Okay. Speak.
So the chair and the vice can be a 1 year thing. Okay.
I will make a note that Kelsey has joined. We are voting on chair, or vice chair, and it's split 3-3.
So you can just say it. Exciting.
Okay,
And it's okay either way.
it is okay either way. So, currently the 2 nominations are Heidi Torian and Jenny Scott,
For vice.
vice chair. Okay, do you want me to read it?
Just a point of order, we've had 2 motions, 2 votes without a resolution. I think. If I'm wrong, you would need it. This is again.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
it probably should restart with a motion.
All right, I will open up the nominations for vice chair.
We'll nominate Heidi Torian.
And I'll second.
Well, I guess I'll nominate Jenny Scott. Both winner.
I'll second. Okay, I'll call for a vote. We're voting on Heidi Torian for vice chair. Robert,
Nay.
Meryl,
Votes yay.
Kelsey. Nay. Jenny,
Nay.
Heidi,
Yay.
Glenn,
Yay.
chair votes nay. And then we'll, vote on Jenny Scott. Robert,
Yay.
Merrill,
Nay,
Kelsey? Yeah. Jenny?
Okay.
Heidi?
Nay.
Glenn?
I'll change it to the A.
Chair votes yay.
I don't ever want to be nominated for this position again, it's very embarrassing. Let's take.
Hey, don't worry, dude. You're an amazing person.
Alright, continuing on, we have. So Jenny Scott, will be the new elected vice chair.
Thanks.
So we're on part C of annual procedural business. Determine amounts of fidelity bonds for persons who shall be bonded. Principal sum or amount of 100,000 for Dan Bush, Linda Murray, and is it Dina or Dina Fernandez for ORS 332.525. I need a motion.
Is there a discussion? No,
It's just,
it says in there that we're determining the amount. And then the amount is determined with at $100,000.
yeah, that's usually the predefined.
Well, would we ever increase it or decrease it?
Do we typically do that?
Or is it always just 100?
That would be a Linda Murray question, but I feel like this is the amount that's recommended for our district size and.
These are the amounts that we have already paid for the bonds for this year, so it would be hard to change them now. We could. We did do a study, probably 8 or 10 years ago as to what other districts did for amounts, and these were very common amounts. We were a little higher than some and a little lower than others.
I'll make a motion that we approve the bonded amount of $100,000 for Superintendent Dan Bush, Business Manager Linda Murray, and Payroll HR Specialist Dina Fernandez.
I'll second.
Fair enough, first and a second, we'll take a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. We're moving down to part D. Designations and authorization for 2024-2025 as of July 1st, 2024. Do you need these all as separate? Diane?
You don't need to read them all verbatim.
Okay.
But no, this is one motion.
Okay.
All 10 items are one motion.
I'll move that we accept these authorizations as printed through number 9, 1 through 9.
Don't we need 10 included in that?
Through 10. 1 through 10.
The current motion on is 1 through 9. Would you like to amend your motion to include number 10, which sets the business meeting dates for 24-25?
I was hesitant to do so because superintendent has suggested other dates for meetings. I'm not opposed to doing it necessarily. General sense, we're free to change those, I guess.
There's
Have you looked at the dates?
Yeah.
It's already the 2nd and the 4th.
Well, I see as needed. Yes, I'll amend the motion to include 10.
Sounds good. So we have an amended motion to accept the first through the 10th as presented, item number 1 through 10.
1 through 10.
Perfect. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Hearing the motion as first and seconded, we'll take a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. All right, we have item number B. Approve the new lease with Pitney Bowes mail machine. Presenter Linda Murray. Linda?
Yeah, I just, we have a new mail machine because the other one was becoming obsolete, so, it's costing us $288 a month more than the other one. We didn't really have to put this on the agenda because the overall life of it, which is a 5-year, is only about $20,000, but I have always done it, so I thought I should do this one also. Just hope you approve it.
I'll make a motion that we approve the new lease with Pitney Bowes.
Second.
Having a first and a second, we'll call to a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Run number 5, superintendent. I'll turn that over to superintendent.
Well, I'm excited to be here. So our first board meeting together, so I'm excited. So, I'm getting the lay of the land here. I'm trying to figure out, do I look over the top of you or do I turn over here? Which way do I go? So I think I'm gonna turn over sorry, I look over you so that I can share here. So, yeah, so I'm excited here and, really enjoyed being at the car show here a couple weeks ago, and then was Henry there on the left that won the superintendent's award. So great story behind the Nova there, and so enjoyed being able to do that. So go ahead, Linda. So do I just say next slide? Is that how I do this?
Pretty much.
All right. So we have our admin retreat tomorrow with all of our principals and our supervisors. Our supervisors will be together as a full team from 8 to 10:30. And a couple of the things that will be with me being new and learning how to learning about the strengths of our team. We'll be doing what's called a compass points activity, which really is kind of a strengths-based activity about finding out what people's strengths are. A little bit of a personality test, but not very invasive at all. Get it done in about 10 minutes. And if you are a North, you are like this driven, I'm gonna take the team to the North Pole and we're gonna get there no matter what. If you are a South, you are a person that cares deeply about the people you work with. You're always trying to foster positive relationships, and not that everybody lives in one of these coordinates, but you are the person that's making sure everybody's feeling good about their experience. So that's the South. A West is a very logistics oriented person. To get to their destination, they make the list, they check off all the things that have to be done there. They're an order of operations person. That's me. And so that's that person. And the East is the creative, think outside of the box. No idea is a bad idea. And let's share ideas to foster to get to. You're the creative thinker that helps get to that destination by being outside of the box. So I think it's really important as a team that we understand each other as leaders as to what kind of drives you. And equally important for me is I know that as a West that not very many creative bones in the body as far as I need East on my team because I don't think that way. I am very much, a concrete sequential thinker. Let's go through order of operations. And also, if you are too driven to the North, you can't forget about your people and you have to have some Souths on your team. And again, also knowing, for me, you also have a secondary, so I'm a little bit more northwest. That's where, so whichever your dominant is, you're gonna have a little bit of another one. So that's an activity that we will spend some time doing as a full team tomorrow. And then, as in one of my board updates, we're starting a book study on crucial conversations, because one thing all leaders have in common is that we will encounter conversations that are not easy. And you know, that this is kind of the opening part of it, where it talks about what makes a crucial conversation is opposing opinions, strong emotions, and things are at stake. Well, public education, kids send us, or parents send us their kids, so high stakes, they're their kids, strong emotions, and in today's political climate, opposing opinions. So so we have lots of a crucial conversation. So it's a great book for to have a common language as a leadership team, to be able to practice the things that it takes to be able to enter into conversations. Because regardless of educational philosophy, or that is one thing we have in common, is having difficult conversations with people. Go ahead, Linda. So as you know, this is our final year of our implementation of our current strategic plan. And so Des is going to be leading our principals through the middle part of tomorrow's retreat, asking these three big questions: is what is missing from implementation and what is getting in our way? Where is there leverage that could create growth for students and teachers? And where do you have building specific needs? So we have some activities and protocols to help dig into these three questions that I think are three big questions for helping us complete the strategic plan, the unfinished business there, as we embark into what will be our next strategic plan at the middle or concluding point of this school year. And so my message to principals, go back one more, Linda. So is I really want them to finish strong in this strategic plan. And part of that is a permission to simplify. And each principal's theory of action for their building, which is, you know, if we do these things, then these things will happen. I'm going to give them permission to simplify the strategic plans. They're pretty lengthy, and to try to figure out, going back to, you know, what's getting in the way, you know, what are some things within the strategic plan you haven't quite completed yet, and let's focus on a few things in those areas that we can finish as a team, so that we have a sense that we finished the strategic plan really strongly by giving people permission to simplify. And I think also, again, in that if then on the theory of action piece, I'd really like to start getting our principals thinking about, if the adults do this, whatever this is, fill in the blank, then kids will do this. So really thinking about what are those adult actions that are going to lead to positive student outcomes. So whatever those things may be. So whatever classroom, if we believe that we have strong classroom routines and in vocabulary development, then we would expect what from our kids. So as an example. So that's going to be a little bit of the focus for tomorrow with our principals. Any questions on that part of my presentation so far? It's a short presentation.
When do you think we need to start planning for the next strategic plan?
Oh, great question. I don't think it's ever too early to think about what the makeup of the group would be, what kind of, I think getting some of those bigger picture things in November, December, maybe, so that we can start really hitting off after winter break. That would be my sense of what do we want to start. I want to get a sense of where the board's at in terms of community participation, stakeholder participation, staff participation, of what you would like to see in that, what level of facilitation from outside or not that we might need, so that coming out of winter break, that I could start building the plan so that we would have those listening sessions and things happening by early spring. Go ahead, Merle.
Would you encourage the board to try to get more knowledgeable about the details of strategic plans? And I was especially thinking, contact from Rob Hess that they're offering a workshop in October on strategic plans, but I'm personally pretty ignorant of the details and the background, and so would you recommend we do that, or just kind of try to?
I think anytime you can go
Input from
get,
you.
I think anytime you can go get training on how to build one would be worthwhile. I think what would benefit all of us would be what would we want to model ours after? Because you can see all shapes and sizes and long, lengthy strategic plans that are very difficult to manage, to those that are much more simplistic and easier to manage. So I think it's more of what do we want to create? But I was unaware of that, so I'd be curious to looking into what Rob's doing in that regard.
I
See
can
if
see
we
what
could
he's doing.
pick up some things there.
I certainly endorse simple. I've
Yeah.
been reading The Joy of Less off and on. There's something to be said for simplifying, I should say.
Yeah. All right. So we're ready to segue into this conversation? So, I've had the opportunity to talk with each of you about where we're at in the adoption of the policies to get our policies up to speed. And so I would like to propose, and I think this is a great opportunity for the board to discuss, but I would like to propose that the policies that were previously recommended for adoption, that board members have the opportunity to submit to me questions on particular policies, an opportunity for the board to discuss and or to suggest changes. And so my thinking is that if each of you were to get me your policies that you either have questions, would like to have a discussion, or would like to suggest changes, get those to me by August 12th, by our next board meeting. And then any policies not identified by board members would then be up for adoption at the August work session. Those that are identified by a board member would then be, I would start to build for our work session and business meetings, the idea of an opportunity to discuss, get your questions answered, and then hopefully adopt at the subsequent board meeting, business meeting. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So.
Are you gonna? We've seen these policies, throughout the year, so is there one place that we can go to besides just our online portal? I mean, is there a specific place where we can go and have the new updated proposed?
I think probably what would be easiest is if I sent you all the link again, that leads you to that board folder, where all those policies are in their own folder. So that you have your ADs, your Ds, that. But you have to use your EduPortal to sign in, I believe, to get to them. Yeah, and so that's the way you would be able to see them.
Does Robert have
So
go ahead. Does Robert have a portal sign in yet?
Did you, when I sent you all your new board member credentials for Google and for EduPortal, did you do it?
Okay, well, I feel like I'm in the EduPortal now, maybe.
You're not.
I'm not. Bro.
I'll do this. So in there is the revised recommended. The current ones that we're gonna look through.
In those folders, we
Yeah.
kept those. It's in there.
How do you want those submitted to you?
I will share a spreadsheet with each of you that will have, it'll be your own spreadsheet. It'll be a Google sheet. You will be on it, I will be on it, Diane will be on it, Des will be on it. And so it'll have 3 simple columns, the policy letters, your questions or discussion ideas or suggested revision language.
Is that one of those Google applications where we don't need to send it?
Correct.
We just fill it in and you've got it, so be careful what I put on.
I can watch it in real time, Merle.
Forewarned is for.
Any other policy questions?
Maybe not a question, just a comment. This is really important work to get done quickly.
Yes.
I can't impress upon this board, the position it puts us in by not having clear policies. It makes his job innumerably harder when he can't point back to a policy or there's ambiguity in the policies that we have in place because they're so. That's always been kind of my driving thing about getting this forward, getting this moved forward. And then if there's stuff we needed to fix, we go fix it. But we're in a spot where really, really in gray area. And this will make life much easier, I think, for everybody. So that's just my comment.
And I would just follow it up that I think we have some clear expectations that if you do not complete the document by August 12th, then you're forfeiting your right for a voice on it. So I'm just being truthful. Like, we've had access, Robert, you haven't, but you'll be speed reading my cattle doing, but just so, because it is really crucial and I would love to have a majority of it wrapped up from the beginning.
I think it's also true, however, isn't it, that if we should continue reading these beyond August 12th and we come across some that concern us, we can bring those back here and address those throughout the
Yeah,
coming meetings. So
yeah.
as much as I chafe under having to read 400 in a week and a half, that's
I
what
think
we
it's-
need to do.
I think there's a 2-part answer to that question. Is one is that, what doesn't get submitted to what Crystal was saying, what doesn't get submitted by the 12th, then I plan to bring forward for adoption on the 26th. So now, at any time, at any point, a board member can request that a policy be reviewed and evaluated. So if that's your point, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I meant, is that it's not like the door is shut forever on August 12th, because we've only waded through 2/3 of them.
Yeah, I don't think a board member ever forfeits their ability to do something.
Correct. And I'm optimistic that if we get, hard to know how many will get asked to get reviewed, but if you adopt in the end of August and we get going and we could have some more adopted in September and we could be well on our way. And also we did get a batch from OSBA from April, so that we will. But we would be very skilled and versed in policy adoption, but so.
Well, and knowledgeable
Yes,
by all our policy reading.
okay.
Anything else?
I do you have any more slides there, Linda? No,
Nope, I'm not getting anywhere, except for
Okay.
off.
Any future meetings, topics, or new business? If you'd look over that. And let, Dan. Leadership know if there's anything you wanna bring forward. Patty?
I would like to, if we're having a retreat, if we could nail a date down sooner than later, because I have plans.
I
Sounds
agree
good.
with that. I like as much notice as possible.
we will get working.
I didn't hear what you said.
I just said, I agree. I like as much notice as possible.
Okay, I'm looking over our list. All right. I will.
Sure. Just, I did want to add a couple things that these have been in your emails.
Okay.
So, but at the August 12th board meeting, I will, and this, I'll have a copy to you before this, is you will get a copy of the intergovernmental agreement with the city of Hubbard. Because that will be adopted by the city on August 13th, the very next day. And so we've run it through legal counsel. Linda's had a chance to review that, so I will send a copy of that to you. So, and we'll put it on the board agenda for August 12th, so. That'll be coming to you in my next update, and it'll be on that agenda. And also, we've been talking about attendance and chronic absenteeism, and that will be on a board agenda for either the end of August or the first part of September, depending on how far we get. I'm always more ambitious and then realize we are getting ready to start a school year, so maybe I'll let the principals get that work done first.
Anything else? Do I need a motion to adjourn? No? Okay. I will adjourn us down at, what is it? 6:42. Yeah.